Ahoy gamers, and welcome back to this week's installment of our hardcore solo self-found using only the Gamble Merchant in Path of Exile 2. So today we start in Act 3. We fight our way through the sand-swept marshes, having numerous close encounters with death. We take on Rot Dredge and a couple Aurochs in the region. This is before making our way to the Ziggurat encampment, finding the jungle ruins. Within the jungle ruins, we find the almighty gorilla Silverfist. We have a mega fight against the Silverfist. I'm not going to spoil the outcome, so without further ado, let's jump on in. Ahoy gamers, and we're back on Path of Exile 2 as we play through as a hardcore solo self-found Gamble Merchant only. This means we can only get our gear from the Gamble Merchants, those being Risu in Act 2 and Finn in Act 1. I can't remember who it is in Act 3 yet, because I've only ever gotten to the town in Act 3 three other times, to the Ziggurat. So when I first started the series, I'd never gotten to Act 3 before, so this was new. I have now been streaming this over the last couple of weeks, and I've got to Act 3. I've never completed Act 3. So I'm still relatively new to this Act. 1 and 2, easy. Act 3, I'm still a bit of a noob in it. So this map has got a few bosses. It's got the Rot Dredge, which is a big tree, which has killed some of my characters in the past. We've got the Auroch Campfire, which has 2 rares in it. Can be quite tough, but does drop us a jewel fragment, which we can use to upgrade our gems. And then we've got the Hanging Tree, which is just a random event. I think it's just a random item we can pick up. So here we've got just a load of random enemies. We are still predominantly focused on the fragmentation rounds, mainly because it does a load of 1 physical damage and 2 fire damage. And because we're Gamble Merchant only, we cannot use any flasks. So these are still the first flasks you start the game off with. Granted, I have upgraded them a little bit. So we're having to focus so heavily on Life Leech, which we've got some here. We've got some here. So that's what we're working for at the moment. Now I'm just looking where we want to make our way. I believe there's a skill gem near here. There you go, this is the one. Increase reload speed for the crossbow. So we want to grab this one here as soon as possible, because we need to increase our reload speeds. We're going to go grab these movement speeds and then make our way to this crossbow reload speed. So it's going to be insanely useful having better reload speed, because at the moment we only have 1 charge in our crossbow, which fire, reload, which just takes a bit of time. But that is what we're going to be facing this episode. So hopefully we can make our way through this first area here. Then we go to the town, and there is a forest. We can go into the forest. There's a couple side quests. So we want to do the forest, do the side quest inside the Venom Crypts, and then potentially make our way to this bog area up here. That's as far as I've gotten. Well, I've gone a little bit further than that. I've gotten to the Temple of Chaos, which is Act 2's... Temple of Chaos is Act 2's Ascendancy Trial. It's quite a tough place, so that's the furthest we've gotten. So we'll be jumping in and out. Whenever we find any tough mobs or any time we may potentially die, I'll jump back in. But if we don't find that and we just easily make our way through this act, which I don't think is going to happen, this act is going to be quite dangerous. You can see how much life leech we've got. Every time we fire, we regen nearly all of our health, which is insane. It's just a shame. We are quite squishy still. As you see, just an easy mob like that can easily turn the tides and almost kill us. So we'll show as much as we can today, but once again, I only want my videos to be about 20 minutes long, so we'll probably record for about 20 minutes, even if it means we're just clearing this first area. We'll just clear this first area. Hopefully I'll keep it as entertaining as possible. Boys, edge of your seat kind of action, but we'll see. So we'll probably jump back in when we get to Root Dredge or any of the bosses in this region. Oh, I think I've just pulled a load of mobs here. Took out a couple rares. I think there's took a couple magic mobs. I think there's a couple rares here. I'm going to be really bit careful. Oh, I could have just panicked for a second there. I saw a couple rares over here as well. I may have just panicked. I panicked for no reason. Never mind. These rares are always worrying. I'm always worried. This place is quite dangerous. As you see, we haven't got much further from when we last recorded. The set is about 4 seconds. No, maybe more than that. But as per usual, what I'm trying to do here is, while I'm running around, firing with my explosive rounds. Every now and then if there's a big mob, I will freeze them with my permafrost bolts. Once they're frozen, then I'll shoot them with my normal rounds, my fragmentation rounds, and it'll do a load of damage. The reason why I'm not only using the permafrost rounds is that because it does cold damage, I'm getting significantly less life leech, because life leech only works off of the physical resistances. And I thought I'd show as well, these are the current resistances we're working with for the moment as well. So we're not that strong. I definitely want better gear, but it's all about whatever the gamble merchants give us, and hopefully we might get something good in this act. If not, I'll be very sad. We have got a very good weapon. Don't get me wrong, this weapon is very good for this act. It's just a shame that the rest of my gear is a bit meh. And I think we're going to probably keep recording this, because round here should be the Uruk camp, and that should give us one of the quest objectives in this area. Which should give us the I think it's the Jeweler's Orb or Jeweler's Scrap Orb or something along those lines. I can't remember off the top of my head. Which will allow us to instantly upgrade one of our skill gems. And here it is. Nope, this is the town. If you're in Act 3 and you want to get to the town sooner, you can actually if you use a waypoint, if you start inside, actually you don't need to use it. If you start inside the town, there is a teleport, a waypoint there. You can just waypoint straight to the ziggurat. It has worked for me in the past. However, I don't think you should be able to, because it's part of the story for you to get to the ziggurat, like here. It's part of the story for you to get here and you meet everyone. But you can, it's just the waypoint straight there. I don't know why, but never mind. And here we are. So we are now in the town. We're going to go back out and do all the extra bits anyway. This is the merchant, the gamble merchant. So we're going to sell our items, and then we're going to buy some stuff. So I've just sold some stuff. I only have, 5,000 gold? So I don't have that much. But we ideally want to grab, I think this, so I'm just looking at the rough levels. So ideally we probably just want to grab a new chest piece. I think that's all we're missing. Can only afford one? Okay, that's pretty rubbish. Maybe we can buy some gloves. So we want armor and evasion. So armor and evasion just here. Let's see, we buy this. No, that's rubbish as well. We want ideally minimum of movement speed, but hey, never mind. Okay, we're now bankrupt. Back out into the marsh to go and take on these rare mobs. And the unique rot dredge. Or root dredge, not rot dredge. And here is the Uruk camp. Need to be careful here. 2 rare mobs. They're quite tough. One is always a melee. The other one is a mage that sits behind him. So always take on the melee first. I recommend just walking backwards like this. And just like that, one is down. Got an exalted orb, always useful. I am allowing myself to use currencies we find, or this would just be too difficult of a challenge. So when I started this, there was no huntress. But there is now a huntress class. So we're definitely going to give ourselves, if we've got enough dexterity, we do have enough dexterity. I think you need 72 as a minimum. But if we get enough dexterity in the future, we'd want to get ourselves a pet. So this, we can augment something. So let's augment one of our rings. Okay, I think there was more evasion on that one. That's fine. Right, this is what I was looking at. Lesser Jeweler's Orb. So we can now use this on the fragmentation rounds. So we've got Execute Brutality. We right click this onto fragmentation rounds. We've got another skill slot here. So now when we go back to town, we can have a look at anything that might be good for this. And we'll definitely socket it. I'm pretty sure there will be something we can find. And I'm sure there's something somewhere that we can find. But there's no rush. And here we have... I just got teased. I thought this tree there was the boss. It's not. Here's the boss. Here's Mr. Root Dredge. Got to be careful. He's like a necromancer with some corpse explosion. So don't get surrounded by a load of his mobs. And if you do, you should be really careful, because he will make them explode. Like that. He'll get one of them. If one of his mobs dies, he'll kind of empower them to become a homing bomb. And you just want to be really careful with that. There you go. That one's just been turned into a bomb. So you just want to keep trying to hit Root Dredge. Once he's frozen, I'll then be able to do big damage on him. There it goes, frozen now. Big damage. Okay, that wasn't as much as I wanted it to be. Just going to keep holding down left click with my fragmentation rounds. They do a little bit of AoE, so we can just keep moving. His ads should slowly drop. And as soon as he's stunnable, we will then use the permafrost rounds again. But he's not stunnable again. We just knocked him over. And just like that, he should be down any second now. Yeah, if you're a melee class, do be careful in this one. He can be pretty tough. And I'm picking all the items up just to sell. Awesome. So we've got this skill gem. So now that means we can upgrade our weapons. Double check. We've got artillery ballista. That ballista might be useful, if I'm going to be honest. Because it does target use its own weapon, dealing physical damage. Okay, so it doesn't scale off of my damage. That's a shame. So it doesn't scale off my damage. We're going to go for another point into fragmentation rounds. So we're going to go find the hanging tree. Once we've done that, we'll make our way back to the ziggurat. And then we'll jump back in as we make our way to the next region, which is the jungle ruins. And let's make our way into the jungle ruins. There we go. See what Oswald has to sell. I can't buy anything off him, but just seeing. So grenades. Well, these are decent crossbows. Grenades you fire an additional projectile. So you shoot one grenade, like most are middle mouse button or right click explosive oil. You'll shoot two. That's pretty cool. And just looking at what the armor looks like, it looks pretty cool. And it's a shame we can't use something like that, because that would be quite a nice little upgrade. Loads of armor. However, that's besides the point. We're going to make our way into the jungle ruins. We need to be careful here. There is a mini boss called, is it Silver Fist? He's a giant gorilla. He's really tough. But we're gonna do the jungle ruins first, and then we're gonna move to the next map, which I believe is called the Venom Crypts, where we may finish this episode. It depends whether we can do this entire map. This map is quite dangerous. We are obviously picking up all items that drop, all rares or uniques, or pretty much anything that has any form of sell value, because we need to make as much money as possible. And I've already forgotten, we've got another support gem slot in our fragmentation rounds. So if we go over here, I did buy some, how are they called? Some stash tabs, because I had some currency left over apparently. So we're going to go straight to Herald of Ash, don't really care, fragmentation rounds. So double barrel has an additional bolt, but less reload speed, not that great. So let's click off of here. That will be useful. Extra fire damage, less. That's not too bad, because our explosives are fire damage, but less cold. No, that's not particularly useful. And I think hits with supported skills cause 50% more stun build. I think more stun build up will be useful. So I think we're going to go for that, because it's a shame we don't have any tier 2 skill gems at the moment, or support gems. It's either that, or it's going to have to be double barrel. It's going to have to be double barrel. We'll go for that for the time being. So we can shoot more rounds. It's going to take us a little bit longer to reload, but soon we'll have ourselves, so I did level up, soon we'll be able to get ourselves this, which should negate that gem. Yeah, it is nice to have 2 rounds, because there is the Act 2 crossbow gives you an extra round, so having 3 rounds to fire then reload, that's quite a substantial damage increase. So this area is a lot like the start of Act 2 in POE 1, like IED, that's definitely not the type of game this is, i.e. the type of mobs you find. It's a jungle, you've got big gorillas, yeah, it's pretty cool. If you're a huntress or you have enough dexterity for it, I think you need 72 dexterity. It's definitely worth taming these quadrillas, because they're actually quite a good mob to tame, especially if you get one for a good aura. Because if you tame an enemy rare, you'll get the auras, whatever it has on it, and if it has an aura, you get to share with the buff that aura gives. So a really good aura to have is something like physical damage and elemental resistance. Really good aura to have, because you get that as well as long as you're within melee range, or as long as you're within I think it's like 30 yards or something ridiculous like that. So as long as you're close enough to them, you'll get the buff, which is really useful. Until they die and then you lose the buff, then you die as well. Not ideal. Okay, here's a checkpoint. So while you're also in the jungle, you come across, so this is not the one I'm thinking of. There's a number of side quests in this area, or side ventures. This is one of them. So there's this one, which is the Jungle Grave. We've got the Troubled Camp, and we've got the Mighty Silver Fist. The Troubled Camp. Throughout the jungle, there's a load of places. So we want to grab this one, it'll probably sell for the most. There's a load of camps. Some of them are damaged, some of them are still running. And they provide a really good shop. And they sell some good items, and they also reset when you level up. It's a really good thing. If you're only buying things from a shop, or you want to find something interesting, have a look for these troubled camps. Here you go. This is one of the rares. So if we manage to tame this guy, we would actually get no buffs, because these buffs are only on the rare. But we should be okay here. Just keep walking backwards. Out of his AoE, or out of his damage, and easy as that. We're getting a lot of money now compared to before as well. So when you get to about 20,000, we do a bit of a shopping spree. Probably only be able to buy one item, but hey, it'll be a shopping spree nonetheless. There you go. Haste aura would be good if we could have that. But once again, we don't have enough dexterity to be able to have a monkey with us, so it doesn't have to be any monkey, like any monkey would do. Any animal or any rare has to be a beast, but yeah. You can see, this is quite fun. This build's working quite nicely considering we're just still using the same fragmentation rounds you start the game off with. So we'll jump back in when we find, I think, actually no, the only thing that we need to see now is the Troubled Camp and Silverfist, which Silverfist will be here. There he is. Be really careful with this attack. That downward swing can one-shot you. So you definitely want to avoid it. If you can, stay at range. I'm a bit worried about this fight because he has one-shot killed one of my characters before. Keep away from that attack. And if you can, try and roll, instead of rolling a... Okay, I dodged that as lucky because that would have killed me. Yeah, roll away from, like, to each side of the attack rather than away from it, or you're probably going to get hit by it. He's dodge rolling as well. Okay, I thought he was going to slam down there. There you go, slam down, trying to avoid that. So he's going to swing again. There we go, slam down, avoid that as well. Pick, and one more shot should do it. Easy. Oh, the mighty Silver Fist, sit down. Got some items here, which is nice. Passive points, which is also very good, so we can get ourselves increased attack movement speed, increase attack speed when we kill enemies. So I'm tempted to go for like a bleed build as well. So put lacerate on my fragmentation rounds, because this is good. But if we get another slot, it'd be good to get a good lacerate, so cause some bleed. But that's going to be future us problem. So we'll jump back in probably when you find the Troubled Camp, and then when you find the next two zones. And before we move on, this is the Infested Barrens, which is the next map, which we're going to grab. And we're going to grab this, and then I'm just going to jump forward to us finding the camp, and then finding the next map, the Venom Crypt. When we first come into a map, there should be a waypoint. Okay, looks like the waypoint's not at the entrance, which is a bit weird. Now we're going to go back. We definitely want to get the waypoint. And here is the Troubled Camp, just to show you. It's just a shop, but it does sell more stuff. It does take a bit of time to find them. However, if you're looking for just more random gear, here you go. It's a good place to find it. I'm just going to sell a load of my stuff. Well, because I need to. I need all the money I can get. And unless it's got sockets, I'm just saying it. Mainly because if I don't really need any is it exalted orbs at the moment. They're useful, or well, we don't need regal orbs. You don't need any regal orbs at the moment because we're just buying these items until they're rares. And then we got another one of these skill gems, put that in explosive. Why not? So the moment, yeah, just shoot one grenade. If I had the new crossbow, it would shoot 2 grenades. And if you're wondering where the waypoint is for this map, it's next to the Venom Crypts. And we're going to go straight on in. We've got an empty inventory other than some currencies. Let's go see what's inside these crypts. So this area here, if you press M, it says there's nothing in here. There is. There's a secondary quest in here, which requires you to pick up some venom. And then the venom gives you a permanent upgrade. So we'll see if we can get something good. Can't remember if the venom is actually a good upgrade or not. I just can't remember. I've only ever done this once. Because the only other times I've gotten to Act 3, I've died to that big monkey. I've died to Rot Dredge in the first map. Then the only other time where I haven't died to either of those two, I've died to the Ascendancy Trial. So I've only ever done this once. But to be honest, this is a really good character. If I wasn't playing this as Gamble Merchant only, I would actually maybe use a build like this. This is just using fragmentation rounds and permafrost rounds. this would be something I'd really enjoy doing. Because it's an easy build. So far it's not really much of a build, but it's easy. And everything just burns down. I think if we increase our fire damage or gave ourselves some bleed, we would do a lot more than what we're doing at the moment. But hey, this still works. Everything dies from everything normally dies from one shot, so I can't really complain too much. And I don't think there's much more in this place, to be quite honest. I'll just show, when I pick up the venoms, what it looks like. Then I'll show the rewards. But other than that, there's not really much in here. I don't think there's much to worry about. I don't think there's a boss. At least if there is, I can't... that's not bad. If there is a boss, it's so unrememberable, I forgot about it. But there is a rare there on the right hand side, so we'll probably take out the rare before we stop. It goes frozen now, boom. Okay, it's dead. Awesome. Chaos Orb. Chaos Orb's relatively good. Removes a random modifier and gives it a new rare, which is quite useful. And, oh yeah, I forgot I've got that ballista down. I'm not going to use it. Artillery blister might be useful, but nah, not for us. Okay, there's another rare in here. Let's wait for the rare to come out of that room. Or not. Let's go walk in there. And boom, one shot. Just wait for the rare to drop. Awesome, down he goes. And I thought I'd show this because this is another one of these high risk kind of events. We follow this wisp, and the wisp will take us to a rare, which the rare it reaches will be enhanced by the wisp. So this wisp is the wolf wisp. Looks like it's going to Dusk Quill here. So we definitely want to freeze Dusk Quill if we can. Dusk Quill is now frozen, perfect, and I'll do as much damage. Okay, that wasn't too bad. We've got a new ascendancy trial, which is quite nice. I don't think we've got enough. We might be able to make room for us to be able to fit in that other item. There we go. Perfect. And here we are. The den of the some venom queen. I think this is the only thing that's on this map. So we're going to head out of here. Did find some other items, but these are ready to be sold. And what does this give us? It's going to be really exciting because the reward isn't that great. Let's talk to Servy. Okay, grab that. Awesome. And we've got Dens of Snake reward. So increased mana regeneration rate. 30% increased elemental ailment threshold. Stun threshold. So we can go for ailment threshold. We're going to use you. Right click and we've used. And then we've now got that permanent buff onto us, which is okay, I guess. None of them are that great, but it's okay. And we're now just going to sell our loot. And we'll end this episode here. So we've made our way into Act 3. And here we are. So we made our way into Act 3. Our next location will be the Infested Barrens. From there, we'll then move towards the Chimeral Wetlands. We've got the bog and the waterways. We can't go to the waterways until we do another couple of side quests. So we're slowly making our way through this act. Hopefully next week. Main reason why I'm not carrying on is because I actually have to go to work. So I have to upload this video and get ready to go to work. And when I'm at work, I can't record, I can't edit anything, I can't stream. So I need to get this video out before I get my car and drive. So here we are. This should be this for this week. Then hopefully next week we'll be back on. We'll go through the Infested Barrens, into the wetlands, into the areas around here. That should be next week. And the week after, depends on how well that goes, we can then, the week after, we can then move towards the wetlands and hopefully into this pyramid down here. I think this is where we go, I'm guessing. So I'm guessing we drain all of this. But that's just me guessing. I've never done Act 3 before. Then hopefully soon we can make it into Crawl difficulty. We need to fix our resistances, as you can see there. We've got only 14,000 gold, so we need a little bit more gold. So looking over here, maybe we can buy ourselves maybe a couple crossbows here. Let's buy ourselves 4 crossbows. No, it's not very good. 104 plus physical damage. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Get rid of you. There we go. So this may be the only upgrade we're going to get for a while. Then let's see if there's anything else we can actually afford. So we can buy one item. Let's buy armor and evasion like this. Armor, evasion. Okay, that's not very good. It does give us a bit of cold resistance there actually. That could work. But it has life leech on there. That's why we have these gloves at the moment. These are really good. So we'll keep hold of this. We might be able to upgrade that crossbow. We might have the resources now to upgrade it, to be honest. If we go to here, magic, so give another, okay, increase attack speed. That's good. Let's augment it into a rare. Lightning damage, not really what we needed. That's fine. We can actually augment it all the way. See how good this is compared to what we're using. So the physical damage is higher. Then we would obviously put a rune in there. We'd probably put 2 runes in there. One for physical damage as life, so give it life leech. So we're going to keep hold of this. We're definitely going to keep hold of this because that is a lot of physical damage increase. Doesn't look like much, but it is. So that will be likely to be our upgrade. We just need the life leech and we need some of the physical damage runes. We're missing both of those at the moment. And we have nothing else in either stashes. No. Okay, that's great. We'll end this episode here anyway. So slowly making our way through Act 3. As per usual, we've got a couple of links down below in the description. Got one just link to my Discord if you want to join the community. Small community, slowly growing. You're more than welcome to join. And then I've got 2 more links to YouTube channels. One is to Mrs Rothmers YouTube channel, my other half, where she does fancy lore videos on stuff like Warhammer, Game of Thrones, and all things Tolkien. And then there's a second YouTube channel between me and the missus, where we are collecting, painting, and soon to be battling the Warhammer Tabletop series. We've got some armies that we're slowly making our way through. So if that's the type of stuff you want to see, us enjoy our hobby, that is, join us over there at Nerdy Miniatures. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll see you next week on the, I was going to say Zero to Ubers, this is a completely different series, on the hardcore solo self-found gamble only mode, gamble only attempt. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and peace out.